and why?
The Science Tignan was established in 1969 by my father, my mother, and two other partners, Manny Australia and Jess Dualan. 1969. So we're celebrating our 40th year this year.
Oh wow. Describe the business model and concept in detail.
In detail. Okay.
The business model.
Well, we're basically a furniture manufacturing company. We manufacture and we retail. So I guess in terms of a business model, it sounds a bit technical. But basically I wouldn't say we started out as like a family business, but we've grown to the point where we've professionalized, and I'm actually at the point where I'm trying to hire people to run the business for me. There's a saying that, maybe I'll get into the saying later, but in terms of a business model, I guess it's a standard corporate setup where you have a president, there's officers underneath the president, the general manager, and different officers per department. The unique side of our business is that we both manufacture and we retail. So we have actually two companies, one mother company, which is the Science Tignan Incorporated, and then we have another company which is a subsidiary, which is the Science Tignan Enterprises, and that handles the retail trading business. So that has the stores here in Manila. The other one manufactures, sells to that store, and also sells overseas. So right now I'd say 70% of our production is exported and 30% is retail, local.
What were the major hurdles that the proprietors had to contend with?
I guess initially a lot of the issues had to do with materials. The Philippines doesn't really have a sustainable forest management system. So for the longest time, whenever we would get big volume orders, it would be such a difficult thing for us to buy enough lumber. So we would have to go to the lumber shops, buy the wood one by one, test it for moisture. It became very, very difficult for us to do. But we got over that by shifting to imported materials. So now we import, I'd say 98% of our wood, of our boards, everything is imported. So initially the problem was raw materials. The problem also was the lack of skilled workers, because there's no furniture school in the Philippines. So everything had to be learned in-house from experience. I was lucky because when I came in, the company was 20 years old already. So the people already knew how to make furniture. My job was just to manage it because the skills were already in place. Basically, that's it.
What were the major investments and expenditures of the proprietors?
Initially, it was the equipment, woodworking equipment, and eventually, because when they started, the business started in the front yard of our house, okay, with two carpenters, one draftsman, my dad, and my mom. And then they had investors, but the investors were silent partners. They weren't involved in the business. So the initial investment was basically to buy some basic equipment, and then as they made money, they just kept buying better and better equipment. And then eventually in 1975, about 6 years later, they invested in a building. So they put up our own facility, our own factory. And then since then, we've basically been upgrading, buying equipment. Equipment is the biggest investment, I guess, the biggest capital outlay. Woodworking equipment.